Hi everyone, Anthony Trotano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Little Simz project, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. This is a brand new record from UK rapper and songwriter Little Simz, following up her excellent 2019 LP, Grey Area, which was a short but bold series of bangers where Simz' boastful bars rode some pretty raw production, and also a change of pace from the lush and wondrous sounds that she kind of built Stillness and Wonderland off of previously. And now Sometimes I Might Be Introvert is reminding me just how much of a departure Grey Area was from Wonderland. Because this project sees Simz leaning back into her love of soul, R&B, and more lush instrumentals, but now with a much more grand and theatrical presentation. And while Introvert may not be as hard or as overtly aggressive as Grey Area, the creative ceiling on this more versatile and dynamic sound is most likely higher, especially considering Simz is reaching for the stars on this LP with these huge string sections, bright horn layers, as well as a really sweet children's group choruses. The content on this LP is pretty rewarding too, as Simz dives into her past, her personal and emotional struggles, her family, love. And this LP also functions as a celebration of women, blackness, art, with Simz also framing her trajectory through the music world as like a fantastical or even spiritual journey. There are even multiple interludes and passages on the LP where Simz is being addressed by like a fairy godmother-esque character, which I do personally feel like is a bit much, and these spots don't always connect aesthetically, but I still do appreciate these tracks for their creativity and the narrative building they add to this record as well, with Simz pursuing her passions while overcoming self-doubt and her tendency toward introversion. This inner struggles given the gravity of the Crusades on the opening track of the LP, with lots of immense sparkling orchestral instrumentation, lyrics that give nods to sinners, churches, kingdoms, war, which all read like representations of the nagging thoughts, personality traits, and identity characteristics that are all kind of pulling at each other within her. There is a spoken word line on the outro that I think kind of sums the energy of this track up. The bass is an amalgamation of everything. The following Woman with Cleo Soul is a gorgeous and jazzy tribute to women of color. It's charismatic, it's classy, it is as flawless as the ladies it describes. Then Two Worlds Apart is a very laid-back, intoxicating number with super sweet, hooky, and purposeful soul chops, whose world apart mantra kind of foreshadows the progression of the track narratively, which moves from this very idyllic sort of love to something much more toxic and distant, with Simz feeling traded in a way, but still bouncing back eventually, claiming to be in a better place and living on artist/actor money. Then I Love You, I Hate You also deals in love and hate. There is a yin and yang dichotomy when it comes to Simz' pursuit of music on this track, her feelings around her father, respectively balancing feelings of love and hate and fear and need and hesitation in these moments. But what I want to highlight on this track is conceptually and instrumentally, this song is a masterclass in song structure. From the storytelling to the way Simz' bars develop on each verse and kind of coalesce with these builds of just grand and gorgeous instrumentation. The strings, the horn, the harp are all amazing. It just all comes together so nicely. And the way she's able to effectively tie her bars into those soul samples of I Love You and I Hate You, it's just perfect. Then Little Q parts 1 and 2 see Simz going down memory lane with these cheerful kids choruses that are Kanye West college dropout all the way. She describes her upbringing in gritty detail on this track, and I won't go into every single, bit of the narrative on the song, but I will say, like, as far as the overarching themes of this LP, it would seem that her introversion kind of gave her the quiet focus to navigate these really tough situations. Bringing that together with the hope of a brighter day tomorrow, it's a track that deals in a lot of pain and tragedy, yes, but also a lot of triumph toward the end. Then the song Speed brings a very boastful vibe to the track list, more of an aggression that kind of hits in a gray area sort of way, but with an instrumental that has a somewhat softer presentation with these hand drums and some smooth synth leads. While it is a change of pace, it mostly fits into the track list, and I do kind of appreciate a groovy pick-me-up at this point. Then the song Standing Ovation is kind of like her Jay-Z Black Album encore type moment, where Simz reflects on fame, what she did to get to this point, and what it all means to her. The writing, the flows, the performance on Simz's end is incredible. The cinematic instrumentation underneath her is amazing. And the track narratively comes to a head toward the end where Simz launches her own personal ambitions into, I guess, admiration for figures that inspire her and a vision for a better world. The track I See You is an intimate love number on the record where I love the poetry. I like that it's low key, but I think the instrumental on this one, it just runs a little too dry. There's something kind of flat about the way it all comes together on this one sonically for me. And while I generally like Simz's rapping, there is kind of a tendency for it to be monotone on occasion, which I don't think serves this song the best. Then there's the massive Rapper Came to Tea interlude that is about as showy as these interludes get, with their nods to musical theater and everything, and I wish I loved these sections of the record. I wish they blew me away. I mean, I do appreciate the ambition they bring to the table, but they just feel so mismatched. However, don't let that stop you from listening to this project. I think my issues with these sections of the LP are like hyper specific to me. And again, there are aspects of them that I do like. I like that they actually effectively divvy up the album's many avenues and sections. The next few tracks after this interlude bringing some significant stylistic switch-ups. There's Rollin' Stone, which is an attempt at a cold-blooded banger with a super minimal beat. A beat switches well at one point, and Simz playing it really low-key from front to back. It's a somewhat trendy sound at the moment. I like that it is attempted here, and I guess it was fine as a teaser, but I'm just not seeing what it brings to this particular track list outside of the narrative in the lyrics. Like sonically and aesthetically, it just feels so off the beaten path in a way that's kind of awkward and just out of place. Which is also the case for Protect My Energy, though I do like the tune on this one a little bit more. This one has a sweet vintage 80s synth pop throwback type of feel. The singing is not the best, but again, the production is on point, and I do like narratively what this track brings to the record. Simz kind of wanting to protect her mental and emotional stability, cutting off things and or people that may be, I guess, sort of endangering that. Favoring loneliness over interpersonal toxicity, maybe that's that introversion kind of creeping back in. Then Point and Kill and Fear No Man are two of my favorites on the record, and they come almost as like a 2-for-1 deal. The first of which brings some great West African influences on the instrumental, some Afrobeat horns as well. It's low-key, it's groovy, it's hypnotizing, and I love the vocal harmonies as well on here. Then we have a smooth transition into the funky drum circles, steel drums, and chanted group vocals on Fear No Man, where Simz rides the beat with a somewhat MIA-influenced flow that I like a lot. The record's really strong finish continues with the last two tracks that kind of close up shop narratively. There is How Did You Get Here, which in my opinion is just like too beautiful for words. The crisp drums along with the elegant vocal harmonies and pianos are excellent, and narratively speaking, this is the fullest and most thorough picture we're getting of Simz kind of illustrating this point A, point B progression from I was here at one point, I felt this way, I was this kind of person, and now I have progressed, I become the person I imagined I would always be. I've advanced in my craft. And on top of it, she also makes it clear that, you know, her success and her progression isn't just about herself, it's not just about ego. She's also kind of pushed to do this as somebody who is a student of music, a fan. Then the closing track, I think, is almost like an epilogue for the record, the moment after the closer where we get kind of a quiet and very solemn and introverted sort of reflection that is a lot more toned down, and I think we get more of a refocus on the more personal things and everyday things that matter and kind of keep Simz afloat day to day, you know, those personal connections with people who are important to her. We see almost like a calming of some of those internal emotional battles going on as well. And yeah, it's just like a really great way, I think, to finish this record up that is, again, really immense, really impressive, well put together, and I think her most ambitious work to date. Now, overall, do I favor this record over Gray Area? Not necessarily, and that's not to sort of put this record against that one or say one is superior and inferior. When it comes to Simz's artistic progression, I see this record more as a project that is kind of taking from where Stillness in Wonderland took off. Because even though that record fell short for me personally, I can't deny the fact that like Simz was really kind of going for something big on that project, but like didn't quite make it, at least in my opinion. I feel like Introvert here is like so much closer to this very versatile, very large, very grand, almost like, you know, Janelle Monáe, Arcandroid sized kind of artistic statement. Well, actually, I won't even say almost. I would say in terms of like grandiosity, Simz is very much there. In my opinion, this thing is not perfect from front to back, but the moments that are great are absolutely positively awe-inspiring, and I'm genuinely happy we're seeing the potential of Simz's first couple of records come to fruition in a big and undeniable way on this LP. I'm feeling a strong 8 to a light 9 on this one. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like, please subscribe, and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, music, little Simz, forever.